Hi everyone, my name's MadMatt Lugos and welcome back to Death Stranding. So, last time we had a boss encounter with Higgs on the beach where we were trying to rescue Amelie. Fragile came to take care of Higgs after we'd beaten him in a kind of hand-to-hand boss fight where, we had to use the strand to tie him up, to parry him. And then we had a bit of a gimmicky fist fight. It was all pretty cool. And we defeated him. Then we kind of ran along the beach with Amelie. It's a bit of a cheesy sequence, but to get back to a certain beach. But then we had a whole interaction. It wasn't an interaction with Sam, but we saw an interaction between Bridget, who's supposed to be dead, Die Hardman, who disappeared, and then Clifford Unger appeared. And really, after the whole sequence, I was a bit kind of... not confused is the wrong word. It's just I feel like I've been perhaps missing something, and so that day I played. I did the giant BT boss fight, and I did the Higgs fight on the beach. I had planned to finish the game that day, but then I just thought I can't. I need to go back and have a little think. So I went back and edited the footage, and in particular the whole bit on the beach. There's just some things I want to bring up, and maybe some sort of misconceptions about Higgs in particular, and just some ideas, some theories, because this might, I've said it for the last few episodes, it might be the end, there might be a bunch of chapters left, I don't know. But it feels like we're getting close to the end. So, a few things that I just want to touch on, I just wrote down here. So, first thing, Higgs, when we first entered the beach, to go and rescue Amelie, and we first arrived there, the bit that I can't stop thinking about is Higgs bowing or like kneeling down in front of Amelie in like a proposal stance, wasn't it? Or like that you do, like someone would do if they were like swearing fealty to like a king or a queen back in medieval times, or when there were monarchies. And that's what it looked like. And then when they saw us, they kind of panicked, and then they kind of resumed the opposite relationship where Higgs had control of her. So that would suggest that Higgs could be serving Amelie, right? But on the other hand, that could have been planned as well. I'm unsure. But Higgs kneeling or bowing or whatever in front of Amelie was very suspicious. So there's something going on there. And the other thing to do with Higgs and Amelie was after we defeated Higgs and he was lying on the ground, we were lying on the ground with him, and Amelie showed up and was stood over him. And then he reached his hand over to where Amelie was held up and was like, "Give me power." And he just said, "Give me power, damn it. Give me power. Give me power." So that's suspicious, because that maybe suggests, again, that they might be working together. But on the other hand, it could just mean he drains kind of power from people. Because Amelie's quite powerful, he tried to do it from her. But if he could do that, he could just draw some sort of energy or power from Sam or from Fragile, because they have dooms as well. So that one's up in the air as well. The kind of, and this just ties into because I know I've been giving Higgs a bit of a hard time, and perhaps that's all been unwarranted. Maybe that I've been in my head that has been along the lines of, oh, maybe Kojima's just not done as well writing a villain here. But in reality, it might be that he's been written this way because he's meant to be more of a distraction. He's not really the main antagonist. He's more of a... He's being manipulated in some way. And the whole... Every time... He's doing a lot of this reference into games, isn't he? About how Sam is the player, about boss fights and restarts and game overs and all this kind of terminology about playing a game, right? And if we're playing a game, that means the game's been designed by someone. And the whole kind of Higgs seeming to lack deeper motivations could simply come from the fact that he's not the one in control of the situation. He's just doing it at someone else's bidding, which is why it maybe seems like he's a bit of a caricature, you know, the whole kind of unhinged terrorist. And so everything he's done might be just a way of distracting us from whatever the real threat is, if that makes sense. So in that sense, he's actually been written really well, because he's not supposed to be a deep character villain. He's supposed to be he's supposed to be a caricature. He's supposed to lead us down the wrong path. He's supposed to be, you know, a big skull and crossbones flag waving in the wind to signal a bad guy. You know, the whole kind of skull mask, the gold capes, the blowing up cities, that kind of maniacal villain kind of thing. So yeah, and so that leads us to Clifford Unger then. So would that suggest then that Higgs has been doing this all at the bidding of Unger? And again, that's come into doubt as well, because we've never seen them interact or mention each other in any way, shape or form, other than the shush gesture. We know that Unger has some sort of past with Die Hardman and Bridget. But interestingly, when he appeared out of the beach on the shore, out of the water, he didn't recognise Die Hardman immediately. He took his mask off, and then he kind of took him a moment. He was like, "John, is that you?" So again, that would make me think that Clifford Unger can't really be the puppet master here, because he would recognise Die Hardman immediately, right? Why would he take so long to recognise him, and he didn't kill him immediately? And it was Bridget who, she pointed at the water, and Unger just appeared. Like, it can't be that coincidental. So, and then we've got, of course, the way Die Hardman reacted to Bridget pointing the gun at her. So he obviously resents her and has remorse towards what he did to Clifford Unger, whereas Bridget showed zero remorse. So in terms of who's telling Higgs what to do, it can't really be Clifford Unger, because he just seems very away with it, doesn't he? He's like in a cloud almost, Unger. So he could be being manipulated as well. And then we've got the whole Amelie and Bridget identity thing, which I've said, I was just throwing it out there very early on when I was playing the game about, I was unsure whether she was her daughter or whether she might have been like a clone or something strange, because, you know, they're the same actress, right? Voice actress playing them. And then when Amelie in her red dress disappeared over the rocks and then Bridget showed up on the other side, we never saw them in the same frame, in the same scene. And then when Bridget appeared to Sam at the end of the scene, you could not see Bridget in the background, but you could still see Die Hardman and Clifford Unger. And, you know, when I was editing, I checked, I was pausing it and going through frame by frame. Bridget was gone. She was there 1 second and then she was gone. And then when we spoke to Deadman, he said about how she'd been incinerated and that she's gone. And then, so that's another tricky one. So Amelie and Bridget, they're at the identity. And then I wrote down one thing that was odd was Amelie's attitude towards Fragile. So when Fragile showed up, and her and Sam, in the past few hours of gameplay, their kind of relationship has grown a little warmer. towards each other. Like there was like a hint of perhaps I don't know if it would have been a romance, but like just a hint of a warm friendship between them. They were becoming, you know, Sam taking the cryptobiotes and all that kind of stuff. I'm talking for a long time here, guys, but I just need to get these ideas out. But then the way Amelie just brushed her off and was just essentially like, you know, get out of here, leave us. I don't know if it would have been jealousy or bitterness towards Fragile, and then Fragile was really hurt by that, and then Sam didn't really stand up for it. He just sort of said, oh, thanks for everything you've done, and let her leave, which was kind of cold. And then that made me think about Lucy, and has this happened before? I mean, what would Amelie's attitude been like towards Lucy, who was pregnant after all? Did she have a hand in her death? Was the thought I had. And for that reason, I'll obviously edit out the deliveries, but I'm going to go and find the rest of Lucy's reports. I believe there are perhaps 3 more that I've missed. And thanks for giving me some tips in the comments about which deliveries I need to do to get those reports. I'm going to go and do them. And then the last thing I wanted to say was about that story Amelie told us about the origin of her name. About how she's named after that explorer who pretended that he discovered America, but it wasn't him and he was a fraud. So that might... And if her identity is muddy, maybe she's just giving us like a suggestion that she's somewhat of a fraud as well. So this all kind of points towards some sort of third party pulling the strings here, because it's obviously not Higgs, or wasn't Higgs, and it really doesn't feel like it's Unger. Unger feels more like a force rather than, you know, a conscious. He doesn't feel particularly conscious, does he? He feels very elemental almost. You know, he just kind of sweeps in and he kind of doesn't really know what's going on. He's just looking for BB and that's it. So there's some third party here. I'm going to say I think there might be a third party that we just have not met yet. And the other possibility is that Amelie has a hand in something to do with Higgs, based on the fact that Higgs was kneeling in front of her like he was in servitude. So I think those are the possibilities. I'm leaning towards there being a third party that we haven't met. I feel like that's what might be happening. But yeah, those were my thoughts, guys. I retract everything I said about Higgs. I'm sorry, Higgs. I'm sorry. So Higgs is by design. 100% he's by design. So yeah, those are my thoughts, and we'll get back on with the game now. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if I'm going to be able to go and do deliveries now, but that is what I'm planning to do to get those reports for Lucy. We've got a few mails. We got a final request for pizza. Should I even read that? That's such an insult. The other stuff, I don't think there's no yellow ones to suggest reading them. I mean, I need this to get all the 5 stars, so I write to you with tidings somewhat more weighty than those to which you may have grown accustomed. Okay, so something serious has happened. By the time this reaches you, I will have been condemned to the beach, having been rendered powerless by you know who. So he's died. You know who? Voldemort. But know that I will forever cherish the memory of each and every pizza you so kindly delivered to my doorstep. Alas, there is a singular blemish upon our relationship, a singular regret that weighs upon my soul. This is getting a bit dark for a guy who wants pizza. It concerns the one wish you so cruelly failed to grant me. I speak, of course, of my delivery from Lake Knot City to South. I've only ever delivered stuff to his prepper station. I will readily admit that I am not one to forgive and forget, and this flaw compels me not to allow you to forget either. Consigning my package to the bottom of a tar lake instead of seeing it to its intended destination was an unconscionable act hardly befitting a professional porter. For shame. Oh, it's Higgs. It's Higgs, isn't it? The bomb. We picked up the bomb from Lake Knot. It was supposed to go to South Knot, and we threw it in the tar lake. And we, you know who. Oh, we might, yeah, right. It's Higgs. But let us not cry over spilled milk. If you do me one final favour, I have faith you can find it in my. I can find it in my heart to forgive you. You must know in yours what I'm about to ask. Yes, pizza, pizza, pizza. This delivery denouement may prove a tad tricky even for an experienced professional, though. The delectable delight in question awaits you at the first prepper's shelter, high atop a snow-capped peak, and must be transported intact thence to my front door. It certainly shan't be easy, but I have the utmost faith in the man who delivers. Furthermore, as an expression of goodwill, I have unlocked the entrance to my private quarters. You may peruse my secrets to your heart's content. I have the honour to be your obedient servant, Higgs Monaghan. It was Higgs. Okay, so we need to do that. Getting into his private quarters. Peruse my secrets. Ooh. That is very interesting. So Lucy's report, yeah, we're missing report 5, 7, and 8. I need to go and do that. Alright, that's the longest intro of all time. So let's get out of here. I don't know where we are actually, but oh no, it's flashing. We're on the west side before the tar belt, right? Getting more for Unger? I'm not sure.
One of a kind.
Bridget? Yeah, the white. She's got a mask on.
That or
a sacrifice.
a foundation. A bridge.
It was raining here last time. So I've got no stuff whatsoever. Hello.
Sam, it's Hartman. Be advised that chiral density in regions predisposed to strandings has increased dramatically. No doubt the beach is to blame. BTs drawn into our world under these circumstances may be affected in unpredictable ways.
Wow, look at the sky, dude. Is that the Northern Lights? An aurora borealis. At this time of year, in this part of the country, localized entirely within your kitchen. Sorry, Simpsons quotes. So we'll use your bike, sir. It looks in pretty good nick. I've been playing a lot of Witcher, so if I keep jumping, it's because I'm trying to sprint and the buttons are getting crossed in my head. So, where are we going? Just stop for a second. Lake Knot City. God, we've got to go all the way across the map. Alright guys, so if this is just traversal, I'll probably edit this out unless something happens along the way. I'll drive back to the paleontologist and then I'll use my zipline network to get to Mountain Knot City and do what's no use. And do those deliveries to get Lucy's report if I can. Hello.
Sam, do you copy? I've been looking into Clifford Unger and wanted to share my thoughts. To recap, Unger was a U.S. Special Forces operative whose retirement roughly coincided with the Death Stranding. After he left the service, he somehow became involved in the early BB experiments. However, he died before they ended. Now, while the circumstances surrounding his death are not entirely clear, I'm beginning to suspect that these battlefields of his are at least partially sustained by his enduring emotional attachments. Anger, resentment, regret. I'm pretty sure it's got something to do with the BB experiments. That much seems clear given his repeated attempts to steal Lou. Cliff seems to be driven by a compulsion to reclaim our BB, as if that will make him whole again. A compulsion so powerful that he was not only able to drag himself from the depths of hell, but bring a piece of that hell along with him. One thing's for sure, he's nothing like a BT. We need to know the whole story about his death and his connection to the BB experiments. I'll keep digging and let you know what I find, Sam.
Welcome, Sam Porter Bridges.
Okay, thanks, dead man. Okay, so like I said, Unger feels very single-minded. He just wants BB back. I think the whole extinction entity thing doesn't really have much to do with him. Okay, I'll if Deadman calls me again, or Hartman or whoever, I'll cut it back in. I'm just gonna go do these deliveries to get Lucy's report. Oh, hello.
Sam, you're not going to believe what I found. It's about the BB experiments, their true purpose. According to official records, they were continued in secret on the order of President Strand, supposedly with the primary objective of developing BT detectors and preventing void-outs. Any advancements that could be applied to the fields of chiral communications and beach research were meant to be of purely secondary benefit. But it turns out, that's just a cover story. The truth is, Sam, BBs were originally conceived as catalysts for the operation of the chiral network. They're integrated into the infrastructure of Knot cities for that very reason. Every single one you've brought into the fold. It was probably Amelie herself who installed them as she moved west with the first expedition, carrying out her mother's grand plan, making sacrifice after sacrifice on the altar of progress. President Strand told the people what they wanted to hear and did what she thought had to be done. Also, America could be whole again. But I'm starting to wonder if it didn't cost her her soul. The chiral network is our greatest creation, our proudest achievement, and our guiltiest sin. I don't know how to feel about it all. Maybe if we knew more about Cliff and the BB experiments, we'd be better placed to judge. I'll be in touch.
That's what I think. That we'd already kind of guessed that, you know, each Knot City or each place where the chiral network was based on the BBs because of the delivery we made to Edge Knot City being a BB unit, really.
Okay, speed demon.
So maybe cost her her soul. I mean, I'm starting to get the feeling that maybe the best thing to happen will be to rip the whole network down, because, you know, the whole Loch Ness saying a while ago about it being more dangerous than helpful could have something to it, about we're just bringing the BTs closer to us by spreading the network. Maybe it all needs to get torn down before we can properly rebuild the world, maybe. Who knows? Alright, if I'm still doing deliveries trying to get these reports, so I'll cut back to any more calls that I get. Okay guys, so unfortunately I can't get some of the orders to get Lucy's reports to trigger. I did get one of them, the order from the doctor, but the orders from Mountain Knot City and the distro centre north of Mountain Knot City, I can't get the required orders to trigger without playing for hours and hours. Sort of 2 hours I've been trying to get them to trigger doing delivery, so I'm just going to have to move on, which sucks, but it's taking too much time, you know, and you know, I need to, I want to get everything recorded and done before Final Fantasy starts, and then I'll have too much to juggle, and I don't want to rush the end of this game. Do you know what I mean? Like, if I spend all that time doing orders, then I don't want to rush going through the story stuff. So I'm at the first prepper to get the pizza. So what we're going to do, I have a zipline network that goes down to the craftsman, pretty much. So I've already got a zipline network set up here that goes down from here to the spiritualist, to the way station, and then to the craftsman. So I'll get there fine. So I'll see you when I get to the Peter Engler or Higgs's prepper station. Oh, hello.
Hey Sam, I see you're coming up on Lake Knot.
Kind of.
Stay strong. We're all rooting for you to finish the job and come home safe. By the way, I've made more progress in a certain investigation.
To Unger.
It seems that Clifford Unger willingly put his own child in the care of the scientists conducting the BP experiments. But he did so completely unaware of their true intentions. This is pure speculation, but I think when Cliff found out about their plans, he attempted to reclaim custody. And after he failed, the BB remained in the program's care. In which case, he would have every reason to bear a grudge towards the president, the woman who allowed it all to happen, don't you think? But just because President Strand is dead, doesn't mean his hate died with her. No, I think he redirected it towards Bridges. Towards you and Amelie and anyone close to the director. And now that hate is driving him to set in motion the last stranding. To
Not
bring
sure.
an end to the world as we know it. Why else would Cliff hold Amelie hostage on the beach? He must know that she's an EE. There's no time to lose. You have to save her and the director. Though I still don't understand how he managed to travel to her beach in the first place. There must be more to their relationship. I'll see what I can find.
I don't think he's as in control as that. I really don't think he's that in control. Just seems unlikely, given he always seems like he's in a bit of a haze, doesn't he? The way he talks, like he's not fully lucid. Alright guys, I'll see you at Higgs's pizza way station. Okay, we're here at the Peter Engler or Higgs Monaghan prepper station. Very interested to know what we're going to find here. I've only got 2 other things that I need to 5-star this one, if we can even 5-star it. And the veteran porter who I have been to before. Did you see that? That was symbol of Tutankhamun. Egyptians coming up again. But I've not found any lost cargo for the veteran porter, so I'll have to do it
Delivery complete. Displaying performance
a
evaluation.
bit later. Here we get Higgs holograms, we get his gun. Okay, customs for all his guns. I'll have to have a look at what the difference is now. I sent out a load of delivery bots just to try and progress the orders, but nothing seemed to work.
Cargo addressed to
Only got 1 star left. Oh yeah.
Request to join UCA. Registered. Awaiting Cupid connection.
So what are we going to find in here, man? Like I said, I don't think Higgs was anyone that he was the Grandmaster Planner, the puppeteer. He felt more like a cog, like the showman, like a big distraction. I wonder, did he actually live here at one point, or was this just put here so he could be close to the areas he was trying to destroy?
Chiral communication. Chiral.
Thank you, thank you.
Good work.
I've only got so much in my backpack so that I could carry the pizza without a floating carrier. Well, we've never been in a prepper station, but we've not actually been in it, if you know what I mean. We've not seen inside. Here's all the pizzas. Oh. Oh. Let's just get rid of this sign. Just so that I can see everything. Is there anything out here? Oh, there's a memory chip.
There we go.
So let's see if we can have a look around here. Bridges can't make bridges. Who needs bridges? This world needs void outs. Me, I'm bored of it. This world. That world and our sweet little angel of death. The world is calling for deliveries. I need more power. Fuck Sam, to hell with you. Game over, Sam. No continues for you. I am the particle of God. Amelie, oh Amelie. The one true saviour. What's on these? Sam. Oh, it's all Sam. He's obsessed with Sam, maybe? Or was he trying to get Sam to come back to Bridges? Did he locate Sam, perhaps? The world is calling for deliveries. No continues, the same stuff. And these are all pictures of Sam. It's a Neanderthal skull, right? Tutankhamun. Is that the real one? J.J. Sutton. Don't know these authors. What is that? No. Maybe it's... I mean, there's a few different reasons why this would all be here, right? Could be that he was looking for Sam while Sam was like kind of missing or wandering the country but not working for Bridges. He could have been looking for us because Sam might be part of this plan. Because Amelie already told us that she lied about kind of being over on the west coast She kind of tricked him into coming back so that he'd link everything up. Oh, it is the real Tutankhamun. There's the... Yeah, maybe he just teleported to where it was. Other option could be he's jealous of Sam because of him and Amelie's relationship, and he's obsessed with Amelie, maybe. Okay, this is very... Yeah. Okay. So that's it. I was hoping for
You should have more faith in yourself.
some more information. We picked up that memory chip. Let's go and stick that memory chip in. I think I've got a few memory chips. Dead man?
Ah, what's this? Something for the director? Pity he's not around to accept it.
Oh.
I'll hold on to it for safekeeping. Allow me to thank you on his behalf.
I am agog. You have my heartfelt
A
gratitude.
gog? I've never heard that expression. Unknown Man's Journal Part 3. 9 other interviews.
Thank you for your contribution. My Life, directed by Nicholas Winding Refner. Only Gods Forgive strongly divided opinion when it debuted at Cannes. Its predecessor, Drive, had been a Hollywood smash, and director Nicholas Winding Refner was free to set his next film, wherever he chose. He chose Thailand. Various on-set issues, the pressure of following on the heels of Drive's success, and Winding Refner's troubles with his status as a director were all captured in his wife Liv Corfixon's documentary of the making of the movie, soundtrack by Drive's Cliff Martinez. I really don't like Drive. I have no idea why anyone likes that film. I really don't like it. I don't like the soundtrack. I don't like the main character. The love story is kind of rubbish. Okay, so that's Higgs's journal confessions. We've got to read these, guys. We've got to read these. So I've picked up report number 8 for Lucy, but I don't know. Oh, we're still missing a bunch of them though. We're missing 5 through 9. Okay, let's just read on. They seem pretty short. Okay, Samantha America Strand. Amelie. Samantha. Sam Strand. That's interesting. The moment I met her, I knew she was destined to make us whole again. She told me we'd do it together and gave me a gift, a bridge baby. It's a BT sensor of sorts, although it looks like a newborn, but it's not. Amelie says it was born on the beach, and that it serves as a link between our world and the other side. Between me and her, too. If I keep it with me at all times, she called it a new child for a new era. I'm not just a delivery guy anymore, I'm a herald for her and her new world. She's given me everything I ever wanted, ever needed, and now I'm free to cut Fragile loose. So it's Amelie, that's the other person in his life. So they were working together. Phoebe reminds me of a baby doll, but it's no toy. That's for sure. Neither dead nor alive, half human, half something else. an inhabitant of the in-between like a mummy, a lump of flesh wrapped around a shriveled yet still beating heart. So many symbols to choose from, all signifying that humanity's reached the end of the road. The Stranding was big number 6. I see that now, and so much more. The void outs, the bodies birthing BTs, all aspects of a single phenomenon that exists solely to wipe us off the face of the earth. We can't stop what's coming. It's inevitable. Putting Humpty Dumpty back together won't change a goddamn thing. And risking life and limb to tries a fool's errand. Why sacrifice what little you've got in the here and now for a future that'll never come? It's wasteful and meaningless. Amelie'd agree, I'm sure. So he's become nihilistic at this point. I met Amelie on the beach again and pressed her for more answers about the Stranding, but she wouldn't give me anything. Maybe she's got nothing left to give. Maybe she's waiting till the time's right. I don't know. I don't care. We all know there's no escaping extinction. I'm struggling to see her angle. Why even pretend to rebuild? Why rail against the inevitable? If there's another layer to this, I can't work it out, and I'm getting sick and tired of trying. If she's not going to let me in on her plans, I'm going to have to assume the worst and take matters into my own hands. Give humanity the coup de grace myself. Just need the power to do it. Dear Diary, today I nuked Middle Knot City, wiped it clean off the map. Didn't carry the bomb myself, of course. Fragile did the honours. Delivered my mercy to the people like a good little porter. I'm sure she's surprised, but she shouldn't be. Death and destruction are part and parcel of the human condition. Bringing people together only exacerbates that. Be careful what you wish for, eh? It's like when our ancestors came from the old world to the new and brought their old world diseases with them. Natives had no immunity and over half died in the blink of an eye. Bam. And we've only come up with better, more effective ways of killing ever since. The network's just another means of hastening the end. This was always the logical conclusion of our efforts, mine and Fragile's. Maybe that's why I partnered up with her, because in my heart of hearts I knew I was building to this. Okay, so he's become disillusioned with Amelie. He's not being told her full plans, but they were working together. Sam Porter, where to begin? Dooms, Repatriate, Lone Wolf, Amelie's adopted brother, motherfucker. Impression I get is that he's a loner who found meaning in being a good Samaritan. Yeah, I tried that mask on for size once upon a time. Sweet little Amelie though. She buys into his act, thinks he's got what it takes to help her make America whole again. I tell you what, the more I look into it, the more it seems like he might actually be a true believer. Fucking hell. Anyway, he's a dead man walking. Even with Amelie's help, he'll be in Central before long. And the second he shows I'm bringing a shit ton of BTs down on his head and turning that place into a crater, then it's bye-bye Sammy Porter, bye-bye Bridges headquarters, bye-bye expedition team. Okay. That's where Igor died. He showed up, didn't he? Brought that BT down and wiped everyone out there. Okay, so maybe Amelie... Yeah, there must be a third party. It can't be Amelie, if the way he's talking about her. And there's some of the... If Amelie was maybe the one orchestrating all this stuff to create the extinction, then I don't feel she'd give Sam so many clues. Sam's still alive. Not even a void out's enough to keep a repatriate down. It sticks in my craw. Second expedition got wiped out, obviously, but Sam seems happy to head west all by himself. Stupid fuck's crazier than me. Or maybe just desperate. Still can't figure why rebuilding the nation is so important to him. Well, whatever. He wants to keep at it, he can be my guest. Even if he still had the others backing him up, it wouldn't make a difference. Ending's already been written. It's worked out. I've worked it out. Worked out exactly how it's going to go down, but dooms alone isn't enough. I need a greater power to finish the job, to rain down fire and brimstone on these modern-day Sodoms and Gomorrahs. Greater power. I've discovered the truth about the Death Stranding. Amelie's powers have nothing to do with dooms. She's destruction incarnate. The angel of the Death Stranding, the extinction entity. I understand now what my true role is. The bridge that will deliver her judgment to this world. The executor of the end. No one knows, not even Sam, but they will. Sam's arrived in Port Knot City, and with Fragile to boot, I think I'll meet them there. Bring a BT or two along for the ride. It's past time I showed Bridges how powerful I've become. Come on, come one, come all. We'll have ourselves an annihilation party, and when it's over, there'll be no one left to come between me and Amelie and the end of the world. God damn it, is Sammy boy stubborn. Just ain't the quitting type. Seems it's rubbing off on Amelie too. Girl's trying to fight her true nature and flip the script. For all the good it'll do her. What difference does it make if it ends tomorrow or a million years from now? This planet's 4.6 billion years old, and the universe, God only knows. Humanity's entire history is a blip on that timescale. What's the fucking point of fighting for a fraction longer? Anyway, Sam and Fragile made it to Lake Knot, which is just as well. I reckon my old partner's due for a stroll down memory lane, a saunter through the crater she carved out with that nuke of mine. Come to think of it, maybe Sam ought to walk it with her. Yeah, I think I'll have him make a special delivery for me. Well, shit. Sam and Fragile managed to dispose of my nuke before it went off. They weren't smart enough to see through my disguise. I did. But something must have tipped them off. Probably what I wrote on the tag. I know I should have resisted the temptation, but come on, who the hell reads that shit these days? And now he's halfway to the coast, but he's in my neck of the woods now, and my boys ain't about to let up. We're gonna make him regret ever fucking with me and mine. What the fuck was that storm that sucked up Sam? The supercell or whatever? I hooked up my BB just before I arrived, and it started shaking and blinking, and oh, it's all gone sideways. And there's something else out there, something all kinds of fucked up. Don't need BB to tell me that. Yeah, so him and Clifford Unger are completely separate. They have nothing to do with each other. But Higgs does have something to do with Amelie. I've got Amelie fucking finally. She's trapped in Edge Knot City. A horde of BTs all around. She's not going anywhere now. No. I'm gonna go take good care of my sweet little angel of death, my extinction entity. We've got plans, me and her. As for you, Sammy boy, you're gonna learn what it means to really suffer. Welcome to the Edge, Sam. You're a real arsehole, but I've got to admit you've got grit. You remind me of me in that regard, and because we share a connection to Amelie. She gave you your dream catcher, me, my Kipu. But you've never seen her face, have you? Never looked her in the eye and seen her for what she truly is. Time to wake up and smell the ashes, Sammy boy. Time for me to tell you to tell everyone the truth that hides at the heart of the Stranding. You're gonna love it. I'll go grab some shut-eye at a distro centre or wherever, if I were you. We've got a showdown coming, and you're gonna want to be fighting fit. Just don't keep me waiting too long, you hear? You're all alone now. You've lost everything. Your mask, her Kipu, the BB doll, gone. You thought you had the power, that you were the one fated to lead them unto extinction. Yet here you are, alone. You thought you were in control, that this was your role, your dream, the verge of victory, of oblivion, for one and all. Herald, executor, born. God particle? Stupid name for a stupid goddamn fool. This was your life, Higgs, your tale, told by an idiot, full of sound and righteous fury, signifying nothing. Okay. So it's a mix, isn't it? He was acting of his own agency. So the whole kidnapping of Amelie wasn't staged. He was trying to trigger
trigger her as an extinction entity. But the argument is, was he being made then to behave this way? He was acting this way because he wasn't being told to act this way, but perhaps he'd been manipulated. Maybe Amelie had seen something in his personality that made her realise how unhinged he was and how easy it would be to make him behave that way. Maybe. And it's a sort of a spot of jealousy he has for Sam. Yeah, okay. But he's been a very isolated character, hasn't he? Alright. So whether Amelie was manipulating him or that was just naturally where he went is unsure at the moment. Still feels like there's some sort of unknown party who's influenced things. Yeah, that's going to be Clifford, isn't it? That storm always signifies Clifford Unger, so let's hope this can get us back to Legnot City, because it's well, not doing too well with the durability on this thing. Let's go, Sam. Yeah, this has to be Unger. This has to be Unger.
Got a moment, Sam? It's about the director. So there's no way he could have made the jump to Amelie's beach if they didn't share a strong personal connection, right? Well, I looked, and I couldn't see one. The network should have contained something, anything, but there was nothing whatsoever. His entire life prior to his tenure with Bridges has been redacted. His name, his past, everything. There's no telling who he was. Which led me to consider another possibility. What if it isn't the director and Amelie who have a connection, but the director and Clifford Unger? And what if that connection is what facilitated the director's jump to Amelie's beach? If it's those two who have a personal history, then it might explain why Cliff is holding the director hostage as well. But even if that were the case, it doesn't answer the bigger question. How the hell did the two of them end up on Amelie's beach?
Sam, Hartman here. There's something else I'd like you to consider. A guess, albeit an educated one, concerning Cliff's objective. Somehow, with the aid of the chiral network, our individual beaches have begun to coalesce, resulting in the formation of a single massive seam. Should this process continue, there is a risk that BTs will flood across into our world, bringing about a Death Stranding on a heretofore unprecedented scale. Now, Clifford Unger's battlefields and my own beach appear to be unaffected by this phenomenon, existing entirely in isolation. They do not and have never intersected with others. But what if there were another class of beach, one that exists on a higher plane, that was responsible for setting this process in motion? And what if the beach in question were none other than Amelie's? Cliff may have summoned the director, but I believe his true aim was to seize control of Amelie's beach.
Okay.
To exploit its power over every other beach and trigger the last stranding. It's the only rational explanation for Cliff's actions, which is why you have to stop him.
If Hartman's right, then we're in serious trouble. Using the chiral network in Amelie's beach to trigger the last stranding? That's why Higgs went after Amelie, wasn't it? If it was Cliff who put him up to it. Yeah, it all fits. With the last stranding, he'll finally have his revenge against the world that stole his life and his child. You've got to stop him, Sam.
No, that doesn't add
You've got to
up.
make the jump to Amelie's beach as soon as possible. Get in and get her back. It's our only hope. If you can't, then we're all doomed.
Yeah, so we know that Unger and Higgs have nothing to do with each other.
Oh god, I can't see anything, dude. Oh, it was a stream. Please don't crash this car. Oh, I can't see anything. Yeah, I don't think Unger is plotting this much. I think he just wants BB back. I don't think he wants like a world-ending vengeance. I think he has a humanity to him. I don't think that... Where the bloody hell am I going? Right. Yeah. And... We just learned from Higgs's journals that they don't work together, so Deadman and Hartman have a misconception there. I don't know. Let's just see what happens. I'll stop talking nonsense. Where are we going this time? World War 3? Yeah. Oh.
I found out I was gonna be a father. I was so scared. Scared of what it would mean. I had to be there for you and your mom. No matter what. I couldn't just go off and get myself killed anymore. Couldn't leave you all alone. I couldn't. I had it all wrong. All wrong. Being a father didn't make me scared. It made me brave. Sorry it took me so long. Don't make the same mistake. Be yourself. Be free.
Captain, I need you to hand it over.
Shoot him, John. Shoot him! I gave you an order. Shoot him!
What? Bridget? I mean, that explains... So that Die Hardman was remorseful, he didn't want to do it, but Bridget ordered him to do it, like cold-blooded. Yeah, that's proper cold, man. Got the mask on. Oh, I guess he captured Die Hardman, didn't he? I think that mask signifies something that I've perhaps missed, just because when Bridget had it on in that scene we saw a moment ago. Let's go. Let's go. Now we get both names. Where are we? What war zone are we in? like a jungle. Must be Vietnam. The helicopters, the thick jungle. So these things usually start with a linear. Use up to switch to a spotlight. Okay, I don't think I'm gonna. Let's pick it up anyway. We definitely need the armor plates. Power skeleton we don't need. Speed skeleton we definitely need. The rest is just blood bags. Right, I'm just gonna get my armor plates on. Alright, I've got the speed skeleton on, we've got full level 4 armor plates, I've got one assault rifle. I perhaps should have crafted some of those special Higgs ones, shouldn't I? Never mind.
Where are we this time?
Yeah, it definitely looks like Nam. Ow! Let's run. Oh, thank you. Let's pick up a ton of these. Spare blood bags are always helpful. Yeah, all these helicopters, it must be Vietnam. Let's pick up some more cryptobios. Oh, we've got stealth, guys. This is going to be a full stealth one. There's been no, if I'm remembering correctly, there's been no stealth. My voice is just completely gone. Alright. Oh, don't tell me I'm losing my voice. It seems this usually it seems to be a linear section, then we meet them. So I'm just gonna keep running for the time being. There's not any decent weapons knocking around though, is there? Anti-BT handguns are pretty useless for this. Oh, more cryptos. Can't imagine how terrifying Vietnam would have been. Yeah, it's got to be stealth based with all this long grass and stuff. Nice little stock of cryptos now, right? How many have we got? 21 and 10 Ds, which is very useful. Here he is. In his spider's web. It's was interesting that Amelie was being held in something similar to this, wasn't it? It didn't look like barbed wire though. But we know Higgs has nothing to do with Unger, so... We're not your enemy, Cliff. We're not your enemy, dude. Okay, thanks for that. Just lost my internet. It's lit. Alright. BB is wide awake. Oh god, they're right there. Right, there's one guy right there. I need to get into the long grass.
I'm sorry.
See another one there.
I just want you to be happy.
Okay, we don't want to stock up any more than that because that'll affect the stealth, won't it? They've got like, it's almost like in Dark Souls 3 when you get Ember, isn't it? They're covered in like embers and flame, so it makes them a little easier to see. Is he facing us? I don't think we can do stealth takedowns on these guys, can we?
I need you.
I haven't, because we haven't had any stealth against them. But with all this long grass, we must be able to. Okay, there's 2 more over there. 3 more. So there's not just 4 of them in his squad. This whole little tar lake is surrounded by them. Now let's see if I can get this guy. Oh, we can. Just pop his head off. This guy's got his back turned as well. There's someone behind that whale as well. 1, 2, 3 on this side.
I'll make it right.
Quick. Right.
I need you.
We have to take out all of them, don't we? So let's go to the far side. Just looks just like this guy on this side. So he's pretty isolated. Those ones are clustered together, so let's maybe
Get my baby.
take these guys out. There's one other there. I think that's it for this side of the lake.
I want my baby.
Okay. I was about to say something confident then, but I know better. If you didn't know, I have a habit, whenever I say anything that's sort of expressing confidence in my ability with the gameplay,
Where's my baby?
something goes catastrophically wrong very soon afterwards. Confidence is a very dangerous thing for me. I was about to say that this is pretty straightforward, but this is probably like the Unger stealth tutorial phase. One. How much weaponry am I? I've got the what? I've got 2 assault rifles, hematic grenades. That's it really, could do with another one. There was more than one of them left on this side, wasn't there?
Where's my baby?
Yeah, I thought so. Maybe you need to have a bit of a clearer line of sight.
I just want you to be happy.
Right, he's got his back turned. Oh, there's Clifford. I can see his tentacles. Is he going to see us? We'll find out. There should just be well, there might be a load of them, man. Can't see. There we go. Both got their backs turned, dude.
I'll make it right.
Let's go for the soldier boy first.
My dear.
Are we going to be able to do any damage to Cliff?
I need you, BB.
I guess so. Oh, it's just like Higgs. Kick him. Kick him. Oh god. Sorry, Cliff.
Open fire.
Stop running away.
Gun here. Move.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, let's reload.
We need reinforcements. Back out there.
Kind of just want to shoot them all.
Man. I need you.
Let's just head up to this long grass. Follow the lava.
My name is Clifford Unger.
Okay, we've got another lake, so I wonder if it's a similar situation. Can't see anyone. Oh, they're this way apparently. Oh, there's one, there's one. There's two. Oh, there's him. There's Clifford. I can see his tentacles. Or his wires, whatever you want to call them.
Clifford
Alright,
Unger.
let's move then. If it ends up in a firefight, I'm pretty comfortable with that. These bushes work as cover, right? Alright, there's Cliff.
Where are you, baby?
He's facing me this time though. Can't see.
Die hard.
Oh god, there's another guy right there. Excuse me? Why did you have to growl? Really scared me then. They're both looking right at me, dude. Alright, let's get the strand.
I'll make it right.
I think they might have seen me. Pretty close to Cliff. And this, if the squad is the same size as the last one, I didn't count, but there were at least 6 of them. He's not moving though.
My dear.
Oh. We can once this fella goes, we can go.
You, BB.
Oh, Cliff's here though. Dude, move. We rumbled.
Shoot the motherfucker.
One down. Now let's relocate. We've got the speed skeleton on. Got him. Is he dead? Uh-oh. That's him done, I think.
Fall back.
Let's get our health back.
We need reinforcements.
Where do I go, Beebs? Oh, yeah. Behind me. Oh, is there flare? Is there a flare just gone off that way? I can hear them already. Oh, hey, friend! Okay, let's help the bottleneck here. Here we go. Okay, there we go.
Give me back my BB.
Okay, that suits me fine. Where'd he go?
Over here. Open fire.
All right.
Fall back.
Oh, full health, fine. Right, we got any more weapons around? How are we doing blood bag wise? We just went through the high capacity one. Okay.
We need reinforcements. Get back out there.
Shotgun, yes please. Oh, that's miles away. I've got two other full guns. Should be enough.
I need you.
Armor plate. Oh, there's another assault rifle. Oh, my battery's nearly gone, dude. Oh, the armor plates. That's what's caused the battery to go down. Right, we need to go back to stealth. Right, they're right here, so... That's Clifford right there. Alright. We need to go full stealth here. Because my armor plates aren't going to protect me much more.
Where's my baby?
Yeah, let's go down this way.
Get my baby.
Pick up this rifle and try and stealth as many as I can this time because my armor plates aren't going to protect me standing in the wide open taking shots
Want you
anymore.
to be happy. I want my baby back.
Can't see anyone. Oh, there's a guy. I think we get rid of this one. Yeah, that makes sense. We'll stalk this guy. Seems like the cover will be alright on this side.
Where are you, baby?
Can't see him. Where's he gone?
Baby.
He's just ran off. Oh man.
I need you, baby.
Why did he have to run off? That's so
I
annoying.
want my baby.
Go, 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 go.
Baby.
Oh, he's running with a squad, isn't he now?
Sorry.
Maybe they got wind of me or something.
I'll make it right.
And the camera is doing me no favours here. Yeah, they're in a little tight cluster. There's no way I'm going to get them. Yeah, maybe don't walk straight towards them, Matt. That'd be a good idea. Is that another one? No, that's just a lot of red dots. I don't know if hermetic grenades are going to do anything, but they're walking right at me here. Right, now we go. Spray and pray. Get behind the whale. Yeah, I'm gonna get shot up pretty quick here. I need to get away from the long grass. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Just, ow. There we go. Right, that should just be Clifford, yeah? That's it, that's over. I took way too much damage to get a good rating. Oh. Are we going to give him back BB?
out of here. I promise.
Come on, Sam.
Give me back my baby. Are you Clifford Unger? Who are you? Are you the father? They told me your name was Sam Porter. But you were Sam Bridges. My bridge to the future. Sam, you bring people together. You're their bridge to the future. Come on, Sam. Stand up.
You finally let go.
Take BB and get out of this place. There's nothing I can do for your wife. I'm sorry. Now, if she orders me to do something, I have to do it. I have to. But I served under you first. And your family doesn't deserve this. Any of this.
Why are you helping me? If they catch you.
Because you saved my life, sir. Again and again. When the brass sent us into the jaws of hell, it was you that brought us home.
So they're all comrades from wartime. And that Hardman was just following orders because he felt like he had no choice but to, I suppose. Hey, got A. Not too bad. Yeah, I guess he finally let go. Yeah, he finally let go. Got to hold BB one last time. And then he finally let go. So in my opinion, there's no way he was trying to organise an extinction event. I think that what he was doing all along was quite simple. He just wanted his child back, but he was fighting against the reality that he'd already died. He'd already cornered himself by handing care over to Bridges and being taken in by their lies.
and he was just kind of scrambling against that reality, really. And I don't see why. His goal has always been very single-minded, is he just wants Bibi back. I don't think he was necessarily fueled by overriding vengeance. I don't think he would have been particularly condemning of Di Hardman, because Di Hardman was upfront with him, and he said, "Listen, I have to do what she tells me. I'm giving you a heads up," but no. So that's Higgs and Unger both out of the picture then.
Sam, are you okay? I reviewed your logs. It looks like you were caught in a supercell and emerged an instant later on the other side of Ground Zero. Not far from Port Knot City.
How'd I wind up here then?
Remember Victor? He found you lying unconscious by the harbor and brought you inside.
I think Cliff might be Lou's father. He said,
Why?
"Give me back my BB."
Impossible. Cliff was born...
He gave me this. Maybe he's trying to tell us something. Something about the BBs, maybe. About how they were made. It didn't feel like he was trying to hurt us.
Yeah.
It felt like he just wanted to talk.
But you said you saw him holding the director captive on the beach.
Yeah. They must have some history we don't know about. Them and Bridget.
Funny you should say that. I've got something you should see. Found it in the archives while I was digging around. It's a pre-recorded message from the director labeled, "If I don't come back."
Maybe he saw his trip to the beach as a suicide mission.
All right. This message is insurance, in case something happens to me. For Bridget's eyes only. And I sure as hell hope that's who's watching. I got a little present from Emily. Said she'd take me to the beach if I wanted. But I'd need this doll to show me the way. It's a trap. It has to be. But I've decided to play along. You've all been playing along too, haven't you? You know this mask hides more than just my face. Well, Emily's a blank slate too. No past. No record she ever existed. She's a ghost. And the thing about ghosts, I never met Emily in person. Have you?
Ever
seen
seen her
her
on
in
the beach?
flesh, shook her hand, touched her? The original team we sent was divided into two groups. Emily was with the first. Mama and Hartman were with the second. They had no direct contact with her.
Yes. Amelie's group was wiped out in Edge Knot City. Everyone but her. Everyone who could say whether or not she exists.
Bullshit. She's real. We've touched, all right? She and I both.
Well, I've only ever interacted with her hologram.
I'm telling you, I've met her. In person. Lots of times when I was little.
Yes, but on the beach.
Here's what the president had to say about her daughter. Emily was born on the beach. There her Ka remained, though her Ha came to this world. This division of body and soul forced her to spend most of her childhood in the hospital. But though her health was poor, her doom's numbers were off the charts. Her supernatural talents blossomed as she grew older and overcame her limitations. But by the time she was 20, she could travel to and from the beach, body and all. And that's where she started spending all of her time. Now, if you wanted to get in touch with Emily, it was via hologram or nothing. The president insisted on that. I swore an oath to the president and to America. As far as I was concerned, her word was law. So when she said Amelie was her daughter and the best candidate to succeed her, I believed it. But when the archives were restored, I couldn't resist testing out my access privileges. And that's how I found out Bridget was diagnosed with uterine cancer in her 20s and couldn't have children. You see, doesn't add up, does it? There's no way Amelie could be Bridget's biological daughter. So where'd she come from? Who is she? Is she even real? How can we be sure that Amelie is an extinction entity when we don't even know if Amelie is Amelie? Hell, for all I know, the EE theory might be bullshit. But if it's not, if she's the cause of the Death Stranding, then I have to accept her invitation. I've loaded my gun with hermetic rounds. Sam's blood. It connects my gun to her, to me, to him, all of us.
That's what he shot Unger with.
Which means I should be able to take it with me to the beach. I'm gonna stop what she started by stopping her.
It had no effect on Bridget, though, did it?
One last confession. I'm just a man. No powers, nothing special. Don't have dooms, I can't repatriate like Sam either. Don't know the first thing about dying, I had never tried it. Yeah. I've been to hell. Every single battlefield was hell. But no matter how terrible it got, I never died. Because all I ever did was run from death. Well, I gotta go. She's calling for me. Bridges, don't let me down.
After he recorded this, the director jumped to the beach. Or rather, Amelie summoned him there.
He had a gun to Bridget when I saw him. Then Cliff showed up, took him away.
I thought he went to the beach to confront Amelie.
Yeah, she was there too. She was the one who got me out.
It's so obvious to me now. I can't believe I didn't see it sooner. It was Amelie who...
What happened?
The chiral network dropped out. According to Lachna, it won't be long before it's completely unusable.
So all our hard work was for nothing.
Let me finish what I was saying, Sam.
I'll tell him.
Fragile. You look like shit. You should be resting.
I know.
Charming.
I need to tell you something. I had a little chat with Higgs back on the beach. Didn't take much to make him talk.
You say why he betrayed you?
He said it was part of her plan.
What?
She was their leader. The terrorist void-outs, the whole extinction agenda, Amelie was behind it
Oh,
all.
so okay, she was telling him to do that.
I know you don't want to believe it, but it lines up with what Die Hard Man said. Higgs turned on me after he met Amelie.
Yeah.
At first, he was looking to expand his territory, and I had a power he could use. At least, that's how he ended up working with me. He was no terrorist. He just wanted to reach more people. But then she shows up with abilities that put mine to shame. Hell, she could even control BTs. So Higgs decides to go with her. And that's when she turned him into her agent of extinction.
Amelie gave Higgs his power.
Yep, she made him her Homo demens.
Right.
What about Bridget? You care to tell me what she was doing on the beach? You got an answer for that too?
I know it's a lot to swallow. But Higgs said himself that Amelie is an extinction entity. I looked inside his pod, and there was no BB in there. Take a good look at what was. It's the same doll Die Hard Man had. This is their bridge baby. There's this idea that the terrorists brought back BB tech and Bridges was just following suit. It's garbage. Their methods and yours are completely different. Your BB links you to the world of the dead. Their doll links them to Amelie and her beach.
You know who else had dolls like this? Cliff. He was carrying them on the battlefields. Cliff, Higgs, the director. All three of them were drawn in and controlled by this extinction entity. And who is this EE really? Is it Bridget? Is it Amelie?
All I can say is that the answers are on the beach. What she wants and why.
If we get to the bottom of that, then maybe we can still avert the last stranding.
You've got to find her, Sam.
Whoever she really is.
She's waiting for you on the beach. Hurry back east.
Sam, the connection's unstable, so I'll keep this short. We have a job for you. Fragile's condition is deteriorating. If she slips into a coma, there's a chance her soul might become stranded on the beach. She needs cryptobiotes fast. Luckily for us, Fragile Express keeps a stockpile there in Port North City. So we'd like you to grab some for us while you're in the area. All the details are on the terminal upstairs. Please, Sam, this is critical.
Okay. Oh, a lot to unpack there. Cut it out, Sam. So I think Higgs's journal kind of led me down the wrong track a little bit, because what Higgs's journal made it sound like he was aligned with Amelie at first, but then became a bit disillusioned with her, and then started bombing the cities and then captured her of his own volition. Whereas it doesn't really sound like, from what was just said there, that all of that is true. Or that maybe Higgs was doing that thinking it was under his own volition, but he was really just doing exactly what Amelie wanted, even if she maybe didn't explicitly tell him to. Let's do some of it. But like they said, so Bridget couldn't have children. She was diagnosed with uterine cancer in her 20s, early 20s, mid 20s, whatever. So she couldn't have children. So Amelie was born on the beach. Her heart and car was separate. Her body was able to come to our plane, but her soul stayed on the beach. But then eventually, as she grew up, she could jump between both. So the question is, how was she spawned, I guess? How was she born? What? The other thing that's in my head is the fact that her name is Samantha Strand, Sam Strand. And Sam's origin kind of plays into my head here as well. mean, could she be some sort of... I guess so. What could she be? If she was born on the beach, she could be some sort of replicated version of Bridget. She could be like a replicant. Like a BT replicant kind of thing. Was Bridget... I don't know, there's been... Because we've had so little hint that any BT or some sort of creature from the other side, from the seam or the beach, you know, that exists there, that isn't human almost. We've had very little exposure to something like that being like an intelligent creature. Do you know what I mean? Like the BTs are just kind of like ghosts, like ghost zombie kind of things, aren't they? They just kind of attack, try and drag you there. Could Amelie be like a sentient manifestation of like a BT? Is she some sort of clone or replicant of Bridget? Who even is Bridget at this point? If they're trying to create a void out, that means they're if they're trying to create another Death Stranding, then they might not be human. Do you know what I mean? It could be something from the other side. Those mushroom things as well make it all seem very otherworldly. Some, you know, elements of it. Yeah, Die Hardman. They actually made Die Hardman quite likable there, as much as it pains me to say. Yeah, I mean, he just couldn't live with his shame, and he's pretty much sacrificed himself by going there. I don't think there's much chance he'll get back. Okay, guys, I'm gonna have to leave that one there. The game has not ended once again. Who knows how many chapters are left? So I hope you enjoyed this one, guys. We'll pick it up next time, and we'll deliver these cryptobiotes. Hopefully Fragile can make it, and we're heading back east. I do have a zipline network going across the eastern region, thankfully, so we should be able to get there pretty quick, unless it's a delivery is too heavy for Sam to carry without using a vehicle. So hope you enjoyed it, guys. Leave me a thumbs up if you did. Just remember, everybody, never trust an on crate. Right, I will see you next time.